I'm reporting here live at the Columbarium. Actually, that's not true. The Columbarium is where people are inurned, which means after passing, they're cremated and their remains are right behind me. So we're reporting at the Columbarium. We're inside the Columbarium and we can see a lot of interesting things here. It is gorgeous in here. This is one of the most beautiful places that you could go to die. Well, unless you count Miami, of course. Harvey Milk has a booth in here, although I've been told his ashes aren't here. And if there's no room for you inside, you can always get one of these spaces outside. So the Columbarium is where you can come to be inurned or to go for your final resting place if you don't want to be buried. And you may hear a little bit of construction. It's because right next to the Columbarium, they're building an old folks' home. If you don't want to travel far when you're making the passage into the afterlife, we have some real estate that might be great for you. Lori, tell us a little bit about the history of this beautiful building.
Well, it was built in the late 1800s so that there are people who are here at the Columbarium who've been here for over 100 years, and they didn't have to have their remains moved. I think the biggest thing is that it is the only place remaining in San Francisco where people who die can have their remains kept in the city. It also is the only building left from the 5 cemeteries that were in the western part of the city 100 years ago.
I'm here with Aaron here at Rossi Playground. And so what's the history of this playground? Can you tell us a little bit about what happens here?
A lot of this used to be a graveyard along with a lot of the other parks in the Richmond district.
So there were dead people here, like on this playground?
Yeah, a lot of people say they didn't actually move them all.
So tell me a little bit about Rossi Playground and the Odd Fellows. What happened here?
Well, Rossi Playground was where the crematorium was, which is where the bodies were burned or prepared for the Columbarium.
We're here with Caroline, Ned, and Andrew, who represent WACA, which is the, what is it?
World Adult Kickball Association.
Do you guys know that there used to be dead people buried here where you're playing?
Wow, way to kill the mood.
Little rock. 1, 2, 3.
They just took ashes of dead people and threw them up in the air in celebration of Rossi Playground. We're here in front of Lincoln Park, which used to be all cemetery. In 1908, the city said, hey, let's make this a place that people can enjoy instead of just for dead people. So now it's a golf course and the Palace of the Legion of Honor. We're here in the courtyard of the Palace of the Legion of Honor. Lori, why is this area particularly of historic value?
Well, we know that the city cemetery was here under what is now the golf course and under the museum. And years ago, they would periodically find little bones coming up through the lawn in the golf course.
Very spooky indeed. Thank you, Lori. This is Daya with VidSF. Thank you for joining us on our tour of the Richmond to see what it was like before it came alive.